Alright, welcome back everyone, Zaf here to your usual weekly Battlefield time guide. This time around we're facing Baruka, and this run, this team build, is basically the same to what we had way back when Baruka was in action once again in the Battlefield time. So let me go over the run, the build, the hunters we chose. There are a few hunters you can use, like for this run, I did try Yuso Hyun, I tried Harper, I tried Choi, but I would say Gina, Emma, and Min were the easiest team to pull off over and over again to get a good time, so I'll show you exactly what I did. Honestly, very easy. It takes, honestly, no time to get a perfect run. You can do it. If I can do it, honestly, anyone can. And I make sure if Battlefield time, I choose the easiest loadouts possible. I know some of us don't have time to grind hours and hours, so here is the build you should use to get the easiest time out there. So let's exit and see what we ran. Very simple. And then I'll show you the run itself so you know exactly what to do, of course. So here we go, let me claim these first. Oh baby, lots of shadow material. So here's our team. We have Gina, we have Emma, and we have Min, obviously running their own weapons. And for our shadows, we ran Igris, we ran Serbi, and we ran Iron. Iron to give us that defense reduction, very, very good. It's useful for this run, obviously. Serbi for that 5% damage increase as well, and Igris for the crit, very useful. Now when it comes to the artifacts, simple here. We have the Blessing set on Gina, giving Emma a 20% damage increase. We have the Cell Analysis set as well, for the break damage increase, and the Obsidian set, the best set in the game right now, giving us a 40%, no wait, a 60% damage increase, could you believe it? As long as you're above the 40% mana mark, which you will be, if you follow this guide of course. And then we have Min, we're running the Guardian set and Sylph's Blessing. Guardian set to give us a 10% damage increase when a shield is activated, which just happened easily with his team. And Sylph's Blessing, of course, giving us a 5% stacking elemental weakness damage buff every time you use a QT or ultimate skill, which you'll be using at least 2 times in this battle, giving us a 10% increase, which is vital for this run. Now when it comes to your cores, I mean pretty simple too. Your cores, you just need these on Emma, nothing else matters here honestly. Minus this core here, I mean one more shield being applied when Min uses ultimate, which we will be using, so just run these 4 cores and you should be good to go. Also when it comes to skills, you probably want to level up, because skill levels do matter in the Battlefield time, of course. As you know, artifact enhancements don't matter, their stats don't matter, their levels don't matter, only the set effects matter, your weapon advancements matter, your hunter advancements matter, your shadows matter. But when it comes to the skills you want to have leveled up, it would be Emma's Q right here. This to level 10 is super helpful. You also want to level 10 her ultimate, I think is, yep, her ultimate to level 10, very, very vital. Her E to level 10, the Flame Cleave, I mean you can have it to level 10, up to you. It's not going to do substantial damage. Her Q being your AoE skill that you need to clear all the mobs, is vital for level 10 if you can, of course. Otherwise level 7 is fine. And her core attack is a good option too. Mine's only level 8, but it does deal a lot of damage. So that should be everything for the build. Again, hunter teams are much more easy. Instead of using Gina, you can use Yuso Hyun. That is one option. Same thing with Choi, so if you don't have Gina, you can use Yuso Hyun or Choi. But if you don't have Min, you can use Harper instead. She gives us an ultimate damage increase of 32-ish%, whatever it is, if you have her advanced sub, of course, but that is another option out there. But the team I ran was the easiest one out there, Gina, Emma, and Min. They are honestly a wonder team. Min's in red too, so you know for a fact he's repping the fire elemental weakness status. And just really quick before we jump into the battle, make sure you support us on Netmobile's free supporter program. You do get codes from sporting. After you support, wait about a day and then go to your My Page section up top right here, and you will have 3 codes sent to you. So what are you doing? Make sure you support. That way you get a bunch of free codes sent directly to you. Alright, so here's a battle at 0.5% speed, so you know exactly what to do. Very, very simple. When you start out, you want to run Gina, and you just want to dash, and you want to find yourselves right around here. Use her Q, her first basic skill, and then what you want to do, all at the same time, is activate your E when it comes to Gina. Aim it that way, so hold your W key. That way her E targets all the way up front, hits all these enemies back here. So when you use Emma's Q, she basically cleans up the rest of their health bars, you'll see. But make sure, when you swap into Emma, you're not holding Gina's Z. You can't just press it once and then immediately swap in, otherwise Emma will jump in and use her E as well, which is not ideal. It does work, it's not going to ruin your run, but you want to make sure you only use her Q. just to maximize your time. So, as you'll see, Gina's skill here is going to activate all the way because when you swap into another hunter, if it's a hold down skill, like Gina's E is, let me show you here, as you can see, you see this button right at the bottom right here. That means you have to hold down the skill for the full effect to go off, so when you swap in, it does automatically, as you'll see. Then we spawn in with Emma, use your Q, do not QT into Emma, you just want to manually press to swap in, use your Q. That should clear all the mobs right here, and what I do is, I preemptively use my core attack. As you can see, it's charged up once we use our Q. So use your core attack, it'll hit the crystal here, and it'll activate your QT into your next hunter, which is Min, so we want to use that right away. Watch this, boom, core attack, and then boom, here comes the QT. Now, it doesn't matter if the crystal pops up as Emma's QT goes through. Ideally it does, but it really doesn't matter. The crystal's not going to do anything to us, because once you use Min, you want to use this Q, which you'll see in a second here, boom. You want to use this Q, but as you saw there, during the animation, the crystals freeze in it, so it doesn't matter if we beat it first, the mobs will spawn, and then we switch into Emma, use her Q, clear all the mobs, and her core attack, you'll see, so watch this. We're going to use Min's Q as well, that way, his ultimate does get charged up for the next phase, very important, so see here, I'm going to use his Q, and then swap into Emma, use her Q immediately, the skill here, all the AoE, beating the crystal on the mobs, and then you just want to use your core attack ASAP, and boom, this mob should be cleared, and now we're at the Baruka phase. Very important. What you want to do now is dash forward, use your E, your cleave move, that'll hit Baruka, and then auto attack 1 or 2 times, then use your Q, that's your AoE move, and then swap to Min. So you'll see here, watch, we're going to dash forward, use our E, boom, and then wait for our Q to come up. Should come up in any second here, and boom it does. Swap into Min immediately, and then use your E. I know I'm talking fast, sorry about that. There is a lot involved with this run. I know it's quick, but still, you have to make sure you're doing everything right. So as you saw there, I'll use my E, and then start spamming your ultimate key, because as the E is in animation, you can ultimate, you'll see here, boom, and the ultimate goes off. This is what you need for Emma's ultimate to deal a ton of damage. Now we swap into Gina manually. Do not use her QTE. And as you swap in, you want to make sure use your shadows as well. So swap in, use your core attack, use your Q, hold down the E, swap into Emma using a QTE. That way more break gets off, and boom. Now you can use your Q, then use your E, use your core attacks, whatever you need to break the target ASAP. You'll see here I'm going to use the E next. It should break Baruka here, and if your Emma is advanced up high enough, boom, the skills do reset. I think I'm going to use one more E or one more Q here, and no, I used my ultimate right away, good enough. My ult should deal a lot of damage. I'll save these skills for after your ultimate resolves. So you saw there, Emma's ultimate deals a ton of damage, almost one-shotting the target. Now I just use the E here, and boom, Baruka should be dead. So you have the option during that phase to use your basic skills first before you ultimate, which you can oh my gosh, which you can of course. That way, if your ultimate doesn't one-shot Baruka, you do have more room to deal damage and then ultimate, but make sure just ultimate right before he jumps out of the break state, otherwise, yeah, it's not gonna be fun. Baruka is so annoying once he jumps out. If you can one-shot him, just deal as much damage as you can before you ultimate. That being before the break state, of course, using maybe Gina, up to you. But if he jumps out from that phase, his next series of attacks where he becomes invincible, super annoying. But yeah, hopefully that run did help you out. Try to be as quick as possible with these guides, giving you every single detail you need. But just make sure to time your shadows, make sure with Min, use his E and his ultimate, don't use his Q. His Q is not needed for this run, just his E and his ultimate, and you should be good to go. So, hopefully this helped. If it did, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and also make sure to support us as well. We're the #1 creator for a reason, with the most number of supporters, because I make sure every single person that supports gets these 3 codes right here, and every new seasonal code that comes out, you will receive, trust me. But I should note, if you're still watching, for the next season, once Season 5 is over, for the supporter program, your support will be removed. In a few days, you can extend it, I'll remind you, so don't worry. Make sure to extend your support, otherwise, for next season, you will not get your codes anymore. You can't extend yet, but soon enough, you will be able to, so links down below. Thank you everyone for supporting, thank you for subscribing. This is your Code King Zaf, signing out.